two plans that go into making the Connecticut Compromise, the New Jersey Plan and the Virginia Plan. First one we're going to look at is the New Jersey Plan. As you can see by this image here, New Jersey is represented by a smaller gentleman. Virginia is represented by a larger gentleman. So this is large states versus small states. So New Jersey, the plan represents the interests of the small states, and we're coming off of the weaknesses of the Articles of Confederation. So when we're meeting here at the Constitutional Convention, New Jersey, being one of the small states, already has sovereignty, already has one vote in a unicameral legislature. So there's not a lot that they want to change about those particular things. So the New Jersey plan wants to keep the unicameral legislature where every state has the same number of votes. But they realize that we do need the three branches of government, that just having a legislature is not enough. So they propose that you have a legislature to make the laws, an executive to enforce the laws, and we have to have a unbiased judiciary outside of the individual states to kind of be the referee if there are difficulties between the states. So same image, but this time we're going to kind of take Virginia's side on this. Virginia is looking at the Articles of Confederation, thinking that why should these small states where very few people live have the same number of representatives in a legislature or this lawmaking body? And they think that if you have more people in your state, you should have more representation. So the Virginia plan wants to no longer have a unicameral or a one-house legislature. They want to have a bicameral. Bicameral means a two-house legislature. They want both of those chambers in this legislature to be based on population. The more population you have, the more representatives that you should have in this lawmaking body. They also realize that we need three branches of government. Legislative to make the laws. We need a judicial branch, again, to be that referee between conflicts between states and people having conflicts between states. We also need an executive to be able to execute the laws that this legislature is creating. Some of the powers that they both realize that are necessary, both in the Virginia plan and the New Jersey plan. Once again, we need a executive, we need a judicial, we need the power to tax, and we need the power to regulate trade between the states, and then also not just intrastate but interstate. So trade between states, we have to be able to regulate that. And so the compromise ends up being a bicameral legislature, two houses. And so if you have ever been to Washington, D.C., this is the Capitol building, and you notice you have the rotunda, the center part, and then you have office buildings off to the left and off to the right. This side over here on the right-hand side, this is where the House of Representatives meets. And so the compromise is we're going to go with a bicameral legislature. We're going to have the House of Representatives, that's called the lower house, to be based on population. So the more population a state has, the more representation that they are going to get. Over here on the left-hand side is where the Senate meets. And so currently there are 100 senators. There are 2 from every state. So we have our equal representation that made the smaller states happy. So the large states are happy with the House of Representatives based on population. The smaller states are happy with the equal representation that's in the Senate. And this representation is a very sticky point. And remember, the Revolutionary War was fought because of the lack of representation in Parliament when it came to taxing. So the small states were very serious about this. So the 5th article of the Constitution is about the amending process, which is how we make changes to the Constitution. There are a couple of things in Article 5 about things that can never be changed in the Constitution, and one of those is the fact that the Senate, this equal representation, every state having 2 senators, That is one thing that can never be amended in this Constitution.